All right, we are back. Just need to do my checks as usual. Everything working all good? Yep, that's working. Cool. That's working. Excellent. We won a game. We won a game. And as you can probably tell from the way that I'm speaking, I'm not particularly bothered about it. Um, and I kind of highlighted this on my community post earlier and on Twitter as well. Um, but I was coming into this game very apathetic because it didn't really matter. Um, I don't think this win really matters in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't really push us any further to the European spots because we've been set back so far. Um, but obviously, a win is a win. We should celebrate the wins whilst we get them because they are few and far between. Um, and I will highlight who I think did well in this game. I will highlight who did poorly in this game because there are a few. I actually do have quite a lot of things to talk about this time. I have, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. And we'll get into them right now. So let's do hit the intro. Lads, lasses, and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono CFC, and this is GBU Live. Alright, welcome to GBU Live. As I was saying, so I'm going to talk about this game. It's annoying because it's one of those things where we won, but I'm still not happy because let's be truthful here. I like keeping things real on this channel. We were incredibly lucky to win this game, and part of that is due to us playing poorly. Part of that is due to managerial decisions, which I will get onto because that's going to be a big talking point of this. But as usual, this is GBU Live. I'll go from the goods to the bads to the uglies and then back to the goods, and we'll circle around and finish on a positive note. So the first player I'm going to be putting into the good box was the official man of the match in this game and clear man of the match for me, and it was Malo Gusto. He was great defensively, great offensively, gets the assist for the first goal after a beautiful turn and run up the pitch from an inverted position. But not only that, I just feel like I don't know what it is, and I've had this thought in my head for a while, that I feel like we always play better when Gusto's on the pitch, and I'm not even sure why. Just whenever Gusto is playing, we play better. I don't know if it's his calmness on the ball, and his maturity for such a young player is incredible, but he's much better when he plays at right back and not left back. Less said about that, the better. But yeah, he was just everywhere, and I think that his energy and his aptitude kind of spread out to the other players, especially in that first half. Let's move to the first. I keep calling these bads. They're not actually bads. This is the medium box. I still need to change everything. I'm gonna rebrand this series at some point. So this is like mid. The person I'm gonna be putting in mid is actually for Romeo Lavia. I was gonna put him in the green box just because I was excited to see him debut. But then when he was really rusty when he came on. So I felt like if I put him in the green box, it would be kind of being a bit too fanatical and not objective. So I'm going to put him in here just because I feel like he debuting should be in here, but he didn't particularly play well, so I can't justify putting him in here along with the other players that are going to be in here because that'd do them a disservice. Now, the first ugly. Actually, should I go to the uglies? I think I'm going to save the uglies until a little bit later, until I've got to my one of my other points that's supposed to be in here. You know what? I'm debating whether to put Pochettino in this box or this box because we did win, so I feel like I could be generous and put him here. But once again, he just showed a complete and utter disregard for any tactical nuance in this game. I just can't believe people are defending him. Not only because not just because we won, right? So everyone just goes, oh, we won, so we could continue with him. But like, I feel like people don't look at the bigger picture and see how awful he was in terms of mid-match management, in terms of constantly playing players out of position. His substitutions are just awful and mistimed and just nonsensical, and it just pains me to see that we could be getting so many things right and we're not. For example, one of them being Madueke being completely snubbed, and as you can tell from watching the game, as soon as he came on, we started doing well. And it's this I have this kind of standoff nature towards Pochettino now, because it's like, you're just not playing our good players in the correct positions and just making the whole team feel like just like a conglomerate of random players thrown in random positions and not a cohesive unit that can play together, because we have the players to do so. We saw it in the first half. We saw it in the first half that we can play really good attacking football. But then just a few things that he does, and I said I'll get onto it a little bit later because they're also going to be going into the ugly boxes with a few players. But yeah, I feel like I just can't be generous. Like, I was going to say, oh, well, we won the game, so he should go here. But, like, it doesn't make sense, and I kind of need to talk about this first before the other points. I won't ramble on too much about this because I did that a lot last time. I've made my opinion clear on this guy. Even despite the win, I still don't think that he's good enough for this job. He can definitely prove me wrong if he continues to bring that first half performance into the entirety of games. Obviously, we have Luton next. And I think Luton is a game which we should be expected to win. I am worried about that game because they have been getting results against big teams recently. And obviously we are notoriously bad against low blocks. So that's something that worries me, but in the grand scheme of things, we should be getting past Luton and we should be getting 6 points from these two games. And if he can transform those 6 points, well, it's being presumptuous if we even get those 3 points from Luton, if we can transfer those 6 points into more games, then I will be happy to keep him in the job. But until we get to see those actual improvements, I'm not on the fence, because I'm basically hanging over one side of the fence for dear life. That's kind of where I'm at. I haven't can fully let go, but there we go. Let's go back into the goods. The next person that I want to put into the good box is Mykhailo Mudryk. Obviously got the first goal, but not just the goal. He was absolutely cooking in the first half. As I said, he got the goal obviously, but his link-up play with Nkunku was great, and he was robbed of an assist by Martin. Played an absolutely perfectly weighted pass through the centre, and this one thing which I've always said about Mudryk, is one of the things which is one of his greatest qualities, is his vision is really, really good, which I don't think a lot of people give him credit for. We're starting to see his potential be realised, and he is getting better every single game, and long may it continue. I feel like he just holds down that left wing spot now. I don't see anyone else playing there and getting a better performance than Mudryk. So, and whilst he's obviously young and he can develop, I want to see him on the pitch every single time so he can just keep getting better and better and better, because that's what he's been doing the last few games. Every single game, he seems like he's taking it up a level, taking it up a notch. So, yeah, I hope he's not... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if he is too badly injured. I haven't seen anything about it. It did look like it was just a contact injury from that challenge, so I don't think that'll be particularly a bad one if he is injured long time, but I think it's just one of those ones where it's like, it's a nasty one and he might be out for a week or two. I don't think it would be that bad from what I can tell, but then again, I am not a physio. I wouldn't know, and we'll have to wait until we get more news about that. Let's go to the second thing which I'm going to be putting into the bad box, or the medium box, and that's for Nicholas Jackson. Again, similar things. Most of the time when I put players in these boxes, it's because they've done something really, really good, but then other things really, really bad, and it kind of equals out. That's the exact case for Nicholas Jackson in this game, because his first half performance and his link-up and hold-up play was phenomenal in this game, and he was showing glimpses of the Jackson we saw in pre-season, and the Jackson that I know can do really well in a Chelsea shirt. But then again, his finishing was just a bit lackluster, as we've come to expect nowadays, and that's kind of put him from this type of position into this one. Obviously, he got his goal, but it was disallowed due to offside. Him getting offside is a very common occurrence, and it's kind of getting to Timo Werner levels now. But as I said, his hold-up play was excellent all game, and he seemed really confident in that first half, so let's hope that his goal being disallowed doesn't completely dent his confidence, because if you can keep the rest of his play up to that standard for the next game, then I see him starting every single game, to be honest. As I said, we finally got to see that thing, and I don't know if it's because of Nkunku playing, but for some reason our attack seems way more cohesive when Nkunku is in the team. We saw it in the later stages of the last game. We saw it in the first half of this game. Jackson, again, looked like the Jackson that we saw in preseason. He was popping the ball around really quickly. His first touch magically improved, which was saying something, because we were saying that, like, oh, his first touch is awful, and he's been in the last game, and he suddenly just, all of that's just gone out the window in this game, and he was playing really well again. As I said, if he would have gotten a goal, he would have been straight into this box, and I think he honestly could have had an argument for man of the match if he had gotten a goal or two. But yeah, I think he's doing better, and hopefully with a few more games with him and Nkunku linking up, we can start getting to see the real Nicholas Jackson. Let's move into the next ugly box, and I'm going to be giving it to Levi Colwill, because he was poor for the first goal that we conceded. He does this quite a lot. He always gets caught at the back post, and I'm not going to blame him too much individually, because I think that this is more of a result of Pochettino playing him out of position and playing him at left back, and his instinct is to mark the man that is not in the left back, not the man that the left back is supposed to be marking. So he leaves the man at the back post because he doesn't expect to be marking him, because he is a left centre back, and he marks the guy that the left centre back should be marking. And this has happened so many times. We get beaten from high balls into the box because no one marks the back post, because Colwill constantly gets caught out in that position. And he's clearly not comfortable playing there. And it's like, I know, yes, when Gusto plays and he plays really high up the pitch, I suppose Colwill is playing as like a hybrid left centre-back, but even then he's not a left centre-back in a 2, he's a left centre-back in a 3, and he's still too far out wide, and he can't use his good vision and his good passing, which admittedly we did see a little bit of in the first half. I will say we did see a bit of that in the first half, but not nearly as much as we saw when he was playing for Brighton and was one of the best players in the league. Gonna move back up to the good boxes, and we mentioned him briefly earlier, so I'll actually fully address him now, and that's Christopher Nkunku. What can I say, really, that we haven't just seen? He just made our team play so much better, and he just looks an absolute class above every other player on the pitch. Whether that be with his touches, with his vision, with his composure, with his link-up play. As I said, he was linking up very, very well with Mykhailo Mudryk. That first half performance was excellent from him. He got the pre-assist, obviously, for Mudryk's goal, and he should have, / could have gotten a goal himself if he wasn't clipped in the box. I said on Twitter, I don't think it was enough for a penalty, but he is very clearly clipped when he goes to strike the ball. His leg gets caught, but I don't think it's intentional, so you can't give that as a penalty. But he is very unlucky that he was pushed off balance for that, because I think that that's the type of positions where Nkunku would definitely score from. And I said he just completely has transformed this team. Like, as soon as he comes into the team, we immediately start playing better. And I don't know if that's because of the system, now that Pochettino is confident to play the 3-2-5 that we saw in preseason, which I don't think we particularly played in this game. Not as much as we did in preseason, obviously. But we still saw kind of glimpses of that. And if our team is going to revolve around this guy so much, then I say give it a go, let him start every game, because he's clearly the best player on the pitch, other than Gusto. I think Gusto was very, very good in this. Obviously, it's, again, another thing which I like to point out is his like vision. Even though he plays as a forward, he was playing more like a 10, he was playing a bit deeper in this game rather than the second striker, but his vision to switch the play, and we saw this very much in pre-season, we saw a lot of our attacks actually come from that switch of play over to the right-hand side, and we saw another one of those to Gusto in this game, and I just wanted to highlight that as well. But yeah, it's Christo, excellent again, and hopefully against a much weaker opposition in Luton next time out in 3 days, he can get on the score sheet again, and we can see him blowing those blue balloons up. Let's go to the next bad. Do I have a next bad? No, I don't, because I put Pochettino in here. He was going to go in the bads, but now he's in the ugly. So we'll go straight to the last ugly, and that's going to be for Ian Martson. Again, this is similar reasons why Colwill is in here. I just think he was awful, and I don't think it was particularly his fault. I think it's because he's being played out of position by Pochettino. He obviously does not play well as a right winger because he is not a right winger. He is a left back. Simple as, if he was playing at left back, I don't think he would have had as bad a time that he had in this one. Admittedly, some of the things which he did back poorly in this game, I don't think can be 100% put down to the position he was playing. He was getting pushed off the ball far too easily. He fumbled a goal early on, which, again, I can't really fault him too much for because he was playing out of position. He is not a natural forward. He is a attacking fullback and should be on the left-hand side, not the right. Even though he is very talented, and we saw from preseason that he can play in attacking positions, I do not think that is his best position. And the fact that he has not been given an extensive run at left back, and we've been seeing Colwill play at left back the entire season, other than when Chilwell was in the team. But even then, Chilwell was playing at left wing, and oh my goodness, what more can I say? Now that I'm kind of addressing this, I'm going to talk a bit more about Pochettino and like the things which I saw, which just made me kind of want to rip my eyes out. Again, so firstly, Madueke not playing. Clearly our best player from that right wing side, and he's just never playing. I don't know what it is. I don't know why Pochettino doesn't rate him when he clearly is our best right winger, and he proved it on this game. And I hope that in scoring this goal and also just being quite good in the game, that Madueke has kind of pushed himself into Poch's plans for the next few games, because obviously there are going to be rotations that need to be made, and hopefully we can have him starting at right wing. Someone has said it in chat right there. His substitutions are just terrible, genuinely terrible, and I was banging on about this before, even when I was rating Pochettino and how he was playing earlier in the season. I was saying that the one thing I don't like about him is his mid-match management is just not good at all. So I'm trying to let me recall. So obviously he starts the game with Colwill playing at left back and Maatsen on the pitch but playing at right wing, when he could have clearly just put Maatsen at left back, Colwill at left centre back, and then Madueke at right wing. That seems so much more sensible to pretty much 99% of the population on this planet that knows anything about football, and that didn't happen. And then when we see the substitutions, and I see Thiago Silva coming on, and I see Gusto move over to left back and Disasi pushed into right back again, and I'm sitting there like, why is Maatsen coming off when he could just push him into left back and keep Gusto, who was our best player throughout the whole game, in his preferred position? It doesn't make sense to me. And then, admittedly, Silva did quite well in this game just because of how we kind of ended up playing towards the latter stages of the half, with him playing long balls to Broja. But even then, he still made another one of those mistakes, and Petrovic had to save him. You know what? Actually, that's a fact. Why have I haven't put Petrovic in any of the boxes, because I didn't think he really needed to, but he was really, really good in this game. I still don't have his picture in here, so I'm going to use this guy again. This is for Georgi Petrovic, because he kept us in this game with some fantastic saves, and I genuinely think that he is our number one now. He seems so much more calmer on the ball than Sanchez does, and his distribution has actually been really good as well. So I'll just put him in there for a bit. But yeah, so, and it's just like, so when we move into this new position, so we have Nkunku playing at right wing, which is weird. We have Gusto playing at left back, which is weird. We have Disasi at right back, which is weird. And Maatsen comes off. And then obviously when he eventually puts Madueke on and we get an actual right winger at right wing, we suddenly start playing really well. And it's not just the goal, and I'll actually put him in now, because the last thing which I'm putting in the good box, and the last person I'll be talking about in this video / stream, is Noni Madueke. There's a reason he's in the title. He absolutely saved the game for Chelsea, and might have inadvertently saved Pochettino's job, because we don't know how the board likes to do things. Maybe if we lost this game and we went down to 14th place, which is about where we would probably end up, then Pochettino might not have been here for much longer. But I think he has given Pochettino another week at least. Not only winning the penalty, because winning the penalty is great, he scores the penalty and he does it so coolly. And the thing which I found really interesting when I was watching is that I saw they added up a little bit of they got a little bit of a graphic which was like Madueke's last two penalties, and they're put in the exact same place, like slightly central but bottom left. and he puts this one exactly in the same place, and I just made me smile, because it's like, he always sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, it seems, and he did that to Henderson, scoring the penalty, proving Pochettino wrong when he said he wasn't ready. He came out in the press conference and said Madueke is not ready, and I said in the GBU after he said that, I said, we know that is complete and utter tosh, and the only reason Pochettino is not playing Madueke is because of the disciplinary issue that he had when he was partying, when he was injured, and I stick to that point, because there is no way that he sees what Madueke did in this game on the training ground and doesn't think he's our best right winger. Like, there's no way in my mind that he can look at Madueke, who is not only young and has more potential, but he's already our best dribbler. And we saw this at the end of the last season. When I was doing my videos earlier on in pre-season saying about players that Pochettino needed to get the best out of, Madueke was one of the players that I mentioned, because his stats for dribbling and all of his take-on stats and everything are all in the high 99 percentiles, but the only thing that he wasn't very good at was his finishing and his end product. But I think we're actually starting to see, especially in the last game, not particularly in this one because he didn't get as much time, but we're actually starting to see Madueke develop some of that end product too, and not just kind of dribbling into nowhere. And I'm very happy for him that he got this opportunity, not only to prove Pochettino wrong and push himself into his plans, but just to get the nod now and kind of be able to say, yeah, well, I've been here the entire time, why haven't you been picking me? And I think that Pochettino will have a massive selection headache now, because Sterling is obviously going to be back, and we know he loves putting Sterling at right wing for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I've mentioned before, I like playing inverted wingers, so playing Madueke on one side and Mudryk on the other side is a dream for me. So yeah, hopefully Madueke can solidify a position in this team and we can actually see some good wing play and not it just be pushed to the wings and then pushed all the way back to our centre backs, because that's what we've been seeing in recent times, and it's not good to see. But yeah, I think that anytime Madueke gets on the ball and gets on a full sprint running at players as well, it kind of, what it inadvertently does is it lifts the Stamford Bridge crowd, and what that inadvertently does is makes our entire team play better, because our team are very obviously incredibly affected by the crowd around them, because when we start doing that thing, which a lot of the Stamford Bridge crowd does, where we start moaning when they aren't playing forward and then we rush our attacks and it kind of falls apart, it's very evident to me that these young players, and they will do this because they are young, they really rely on confidence and being supported by the team. And I think that's kind of what I want to end off on here, is that we just kind of need to get behind the team. Obviously, I'm not behind the manager, but I will always be behind the team. I'm never going to be one of those people that are nonsensical and says, oh, we need to lose this game so Pochettino can be sacked. I'm never going to be like that. We need to win every game. That's my opinion. I'm a Chelsea fan first and foremost. I always want us to win, and I know that every single person in this chat right now probably feels the same way. I am getting that thing for ads running shortly for some viewers again, so I will try and end this very quickly. But the last thing I want to say before I hit the outro is the preview for Luton will be out on Friday evening around 7 PM GMT as usual. We are so close to 16k, so if you enjoy my content, I please implore you to subscribe right now, because I would love to hit 16k by the end of the year. I know that's kind of stretching it because it's like a few days, literally 4 days, but yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I want to say. We've got 18 seconds before the ads run, so I'll hit the outro. Everyone enjoy your evening and enjoy your week before the next game against Luton, and I said I'll talk to you on Friday. See you later. But that was just my GBU match review for this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this match in the comment section below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, or check out some of the other videos on the channel on screen right now. I've been Mono from Mono CFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues.